What up, you awesomeness all over the world? Welcome to you awesomeness, you awesome people. So, everybody always say, why do I say her story? The reason why, because women have made a huge impact on the world. I mean, huge. You know, so my wife and I, we're gonna be starting a lot of segments when it comes to YouTube. So we're going to speak about, we're going to start obviously the African American course. We're going to talk about history. We're going to talk about her story, and we're going to talk about world history. So we're going to break it down in all components. So anytime you're taking a test, or anytime you're at school, you can have something that you can refer to. So individuals ask, so what women have made impact? Well, we're just gonna go off of America, because as y'all know, her story is huge. Her story stretches for centuries, like centuries, all the way back into the BC era. You know, so just in America, you have Mary McLeod Bethune. You got Rosa Parks. You have Henrietta Lacks. You have the Great Seneca Falls Convention of 1848. You have Sojourner Truth. You got Phyllis Wheatley. Fun fact, actually, there's a high school named after Phyllis Wheatley here in Fifth Ward in Houston called Wheatley High School. And Phyllis Wheatley also have, excuse me, she has some complexes named after her at Denver Harbor. She was the first black poet to have her work published in America. It's just a fun fact about her. You have, Madam C.J. Walker. You have all these great women. You have Ida B. Wells, who have helped chart a course in America, who have helped blaze a trail in America, who have helped bring a light and a flight for America. Then we go on the other side. We can speak about the suffrage movement. Suffrage is a French word. So suffrage only means the right to vote. Just a fun fact if y'all don't know. You can speak about the temperance movement with Carrie Nation. So there's so much her story out there that's not told in school, which is it's just sad, and it's really a shame. Then we start back to present day. Think about this. Women help push the narrative for what civil rights could be. Rest in honor, when George Floyd passed away, there was a young girl who recorded that. They helped spark the largest civil rights movement in her story in history. Sparked it. It spread across the nation. Black Lives Matter was founded by black women, and we go touch into that, in a later. But that's what I'm saying. Like there's just so much her story out there. We're gonna talk about the 10 Young Laws, and we're gonna talk about the women who use their power, to help shape Louisiana. My wife is gonna touch on that segment. So yeah, man, it's just so much stuff out there that that we don't know, that we fail to realize. Just look at World War I and World War II. They helped create enormous economic opportunities for women. Enormous. Because before that, women were looked at as working. Like that wasn't a big thing. But them jobs, they had to be filled by somebody. Man, at war, women, provided that uplift. So to help keep our young country going. Because think about it, World War I wasn't too long after the Civil War. Either was World War II. It wasn't that long after the Civil War. So, you know, that part, as far as women playing a huge homegrown front for America, to keep America alive, to keep America going, to keep America stabilized, is not talked about enough. But in this household, we touch on it. Everything that schools don't touch on, we touch on. Because as y'all know, people wonder why. Okay, why is curriculum in schools not talked about enough, or why don't talk about this or that? Well, the reason why is you have what you call curriculum development specialists, and so they kind of touch on things that other people touch on. What I mean by that, pretty much just a fancy word. They just kind of copy and paste. So a lot of lesson plans that other development specialists have used in the past or have talked about in the past or went over in the past, they pretty much don't deviate much from it. They may add a snippet here or two, but pretty much they don't reinvent the wheel. So as you can see, that's why a lot of our black and brown students fail at such a high rate when it comes to testing, because they don't know the information. It's not talked about. For some odd reason, it's not talked about, and they're not giving the proper resources to learn. But in here, you will have the proper resources to learn, because we come from, we study many articles, many research projects, many papers, and we touch on all of it. But as y'all know, peace, love, happiness. Peace.